Boom. What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I am your guy, nutrition and wellness guy, Chef D. And I don't know if I'm going to say I'm excited about every single episode, but this episode right here, this is one of those ones. If you're coming over from Instagram, thank you. I appreciate that. I know sometimes it could be a little hassle going from one platform to another. If you're coming from TikTok, I appreciate you too. We are working on making sure that all the platforms speak together when I go live. But right now, my baby is YouTube. So we're here. So thank you. I appreciate you all being here. If you have not seen the thumbnail, I got like 2 text messages today. I'm not that popular yet, trust me. 2 text messages today, and they're like hymns, like what are you like, huh? And we're definitely going to talk about Hims and Hers, the telehealth company. Some things that I feel like we need to have a real good conversation about, and y'all need to know what's up with that. And also Roe. I hope they probably just don't get salty and try to do a cease and desist after this episode, but it is what it is because everything is the truth. It's not my opinion. We also going to talk about this trend. Another thing, as a nutritionist, a lot of my family and friends are always sending me like products. Like, hey, what do you think of this product? How you think of this product? What do you think of this supplement? What do you think of this? And I noticed a trend, and this is a scary trend. And I started doing some digging, and I used AI and a couple of other things to do some digging too. And I found a scam, like a huge scam. And I feel like it's taken a lot of our money, and I want us to be on track. So I want to let you guys know about these scams, these black owned. When they put black owned in it, the scams, I'm going to help you guys identify how to determine if a company is using a white label. And we're going to talk about what a white label is, and how to tell if a company is exploiting the fact that we buy black owned products because there's a trust factor that we associate when we see that label. You're going to be surprised. Some of actually a majority of some of these products for skin, for hair, for weight loss, for more energy, you're going to be so surprised when I unleash. It's two of them particularly we're going to talk about, but there's many of them that it's made in China, it's made in Taiwan, it's made somewhere in Africa, it's made somewhere in Germany, and they used AI to come up with the photo stock. There's no founder, so they give you an idea of the story of the company, but I'm going to show you how to start finding for yourself if this is a company that really is black owned, and the products. And again, I'm saying black owned because, as y'all know, my love language is black and brown. This is for everybody. However, I do like to make an emphasis on making sure that black and brown community gets a little bit extra love. And there's no, I don't try to downplay that. There's no shame in that for me. But again, it's just one of those things where there's so much exploitation out there. When I find something that's really trying to take money from us, I want to bring it to y'all. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that. You're gonna be surprised. All these products out here that people don't even speak English, and they have found black stock photos. They have even went as far as to hire black background actors. And I know this, I told you guys this. I just flew here from LA, just got here to New Jersey from LA, literally just left the airport, raced here because you guys know this live is my love language. And I'm telling you, as an actor, someone who, and again, I'm not even an active actor right now. You guys know I'm taking care of grandpa, and I'm on the East Coast more than ever. But a lot of the background work you would get is for hair care, skin care, and food supplement products. And the companies would send you some of their stuff, and they would give you a script, and they would want you to send some before pictures. And if your skin is bad, they love that. They don't care about how well your skin is. They Photoshop the photos and they add filters and stuff to show where your skin is now, because you're not going to meet Kanisha in the middle of the country somewhere. You're probably never going to see her in real life. You're just going to see her on Instagram or TikTok. So you'll take her word for it. And we're going to expose that. And I want you guys to be educated on how to find quality products that when you see it online, you don't have to send me a message like, yo, Chef D, is this a good product? I'm going to help you guys after this episode start figuring out what the scams really are when it comes to these products you're seeing on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know if it's Google Short Star, YouTube Short Star doing it yet, but we're going to get into it. And so segment one, we're going to talk about hims, hers, row, telehealth. Then we're going to switch it up for our second topic, which is going to be about, the fake Black owned and fake woman owned and fake minority owned and fake veteran owned. We're going to go what that is, that white label side. Then we're going to talk about lies, sugar lies. So a lot of manufacturers are now starting to catch on that consumers are now looking on the back of the label, and we're looking for things that do not have added sugar. And we're looking at the label to make sure that there's no cane sugar, fructose, or any of that other stuff. But they got smart. Now these have new names, and I shouldn't say new names. They have loopholes, and it's the same sugar spike, if not very close. And these items, they get to avoid putting added sugar since it comes from a natural sugar source. But when you hear about the loophole, it's going to blow your mind, and it's going to let you be a little more avid and a little more aware on how to shop for certain products. And then last but not least, each week now I want to start doing Chef D's top 5 for better health tips. So we're going to go over a couple of things. Men, we're going to talk about your boys down there and how to keep them healthy, because as we get older, some guys are dealing with ED. And they're dealing with a lot of other complications, fertility issues. So we're going to talk about how to keep, your egg health, your testicle health a lot better than what we're doing. We'll talk about some gut health stuff, and I'll throw in a couple other goodies. So stay to the end, so that way you could be on to what this week's health tips gonna be. Hey, if you're here, put where you're from. I know, again. I thank God for this platform. We were at 10 o'clock. Now we're down to 9 o'clock. I know it's still kind of late for people. I get most of my views are doing the replay, but I'm still going to keep up with this live show. So thank y'all for joining me. Don't feel bad, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 of us here. Put in the chat where you're from. And at any moment, if you have a question or concern about what I'm saying, this is our show. This is our platform. So just let me know. I'm your free health coach and nutritionist and personal trainer for the next what we got now, next 50 minutes. All right, so first and foremost, hims and hers. We've been seeing a lot of commercials when it comes to hims and hers. They have some really smart marketing. The colors are really soft, like as far as the tones of the clothing they're wearing. They know how to find the right influencers, and they are marketing themselves as a convenient way to take care of some of the things that you're embarrassed to talk about, whether with your physician or with your family or with anybody. Things like hair loss, things like erectile dysfunction, weight loss, and they have a couple of other blends that they put together. Now, I don't have a beef with him and hers just off the rip, or even Roe. You guys may have seen Roe lately. Serena Williams, the tennis player, she's like one of the biggest like faces of this company so far. And I want to just first and foremost, I need you guys to know what they are. They're not pharmacies. They're not even clinics. So hims and hers and Roes and places like that, they are telehealth platforms. So they are pretty much the middleman. They are taking generic drugs, some which are FDA approved, and they are getting it to people like who do not either like doctors, who may not have a doctor, or someone who just doesn't want to really do the work to get the whole doctor procedure. Because let's be honest, sometimes getting an appointment takes forever. If you've been trying to get on GL1P or Ozempic It seems like it takes forever. And if you're having hair loss, if you're having weight issues, if you're having other complications, you necessarily don't want to go through your doctor. You don't want to do co-pays and all this other stuff. And the appointments are so far out, it's very inconvenient. So shout out to him and hers and Roe and companies like telehealth, because they found a problem and they worked to address the issue. However, this is the issue. They are masquerading themselves as I shouldn't say they're masquerading themselves, because they are clever. But if you look at the bottom of the commercials, sometimes they go so fast, but if you pause it, it'll say that all of their items aren't FDA approved. So they deal with generic products for erectile dysfunction, hair loss, weight loss. They deal with the generic, not the top tier, the generic brand of it. And that is what they're saying is FDA approved. Not because it's their blend, it's just generic. It's off the market. Oh, it's on the market, but they're able to use it because they have a nurse or a doctor on staff to sign off on it. And when you go to the website, you fill out a questionnaire. And after you fill out the questionnaire, then you're paired with a subscription plan to help address whatever the situation is, whether it's erectile dysfunction, hair loss, or weight loss. The issue with this is that sometimes the questionnaire, after you finish your questionnaire, they're not going to always market the FDA approved stuff, whether it's the knockoff of Ozempic or whether it's the knockoff minoxidil or any of the other hair treatment stuff. They're going to give you a blend. This blend is going to be hyped up with certain ingredients that you won't even know, because they call it proprietary blend. So you don't even know what the ingredients are. You don't know the efficacy of the ingredients. You don't know where the ingredients are sourced. They're able to use their FDA, they'll put science-backed, FDA approved, doctor recommended, because those are buzzwords. But when you peel back the layers, the proprietary blends that they're actually going to give you in your subscription, those aren't FDA approved. They have not been third-party tested, or at least it's not shown on the site. And there's no guarantee. So they're not checked by the FDA. They don't have to be. They're a supplement. So nobody in the world has to mandate them to sell it. So they can sell you the subscription and tell you, hey, based on the questionnaire you filled out, we're going to give you this blend for hair gain, or we're going to give you this blend for weight loss, or we're going to give you this blend for erectile dysfunction. I need you guys to understand that when it comes to drugs and medications, they don't replace lifestyle. So when you are being asked questions about things that should be lifestyle, like what's your sleep like? What is your social, I call it capital. Social capital to me is how many people are you spending time with? Who's your best friend? Who, how is your relationship with family and friends? Are you someone who's isolated, depressed, always anxious? Because that's going to mess up cortisol levels. That's going to mess up hormonal balance. That's going to trigger ED, cancers, and all types of hair loss. That's going to trigger that. So if your lifestyle doesn't change, but you just added a pill and an expensive one at that, a subscription, then there's no way to tell if it's working or not working, because guess what? They don't have to guarantee it works. They're telehealth tech company. So they're not doctors. They didn't make the products that they're doing. They have physicians blend it, but they don't have to stand behind their product. This is my issue. My issue is some of us, we actually need doctors. We need specialists. We need naturopaths. We need healers. We need holistic practitioners. We need someone who is going to monitor, because that's the other thing. You may connect with a clinician at first with some of these telehealth, but there's no follow-up. There's no follow-through. There's no in-person checkups or appointments. There's none of that. There's not even blood work. So there's no lab work. So you just signed up for a subscription for hair loss or erectile dysfunction or weight loss. And where are the labs? How do they know what your nutrient levels are? So did you know that iron, zinc, magnesium, if those things are off, it's going to trigger hair loss. It's going to trigger imbalance in weight. And men, is definitely going to trigger your sexual health for sure. Women too. If you don't have enough vitamin D, that's going to trigger. If you're off on other nutrients and other antioxidants, it's going to trigger. A pill doesn't fix that. Subscription doesn't fix that. And that's why that's the only issue I have. So I don't have an issue with the telehealth companies, him and hers and Roe. My issue is the hype. They put a lot of money into the marketing. They put a lot of money into the hype. They pay these influencers and all these other people, and they're buying these before and after results. And unfortunately, it's just not what it's cracked up to be. Because some of us, we don't need another pill. We don't need another supplement. We don't need another cream or topical, expensive shampoo, or we don't need another, skin routine product. We just don't. We just need some lifestyle changes. Like, how much sleep are you getting? That's the thing. Like, how much sleep are you getting? Are you getting peaceful sleep that you're able to activate the REM, the rapid eye movement, so that way your growth hormone is working, your organs are recovering, they're resetting themselves? Before you go and purchase another subscription, I don't care how great the ad looked, I don't care how creative the marketing was or the commercial was. I want you to get a better idea of what your blood work looks like, and I want you to get a better idea of what your I call them the 5 pillars of health. Physical, how much are you in the gym, or how much physical activity are you doing a day? How many steps did you get in? How much movement are you doing, like intense movement? How much walk pace movement are you doing? Are you walking after you eat? These are real conversations. Spiritual health, what does that look like? Like, who's the higher power for you? For me, it's God. That's all day, every day. But who is it for you? What is your connection to your spirituality? Because that's another part of health. A pill is not going to fix that. It's just not. What is your mental health like? Are you talking to a professional? Maybe you're in a season where it feels like all hell is broken loose. Who are you talking to? Who are you getting help with? Yeah, your best friend is cool, but sometimes they pacify us, and sometimes they don't tell us what we need to hear, or they don't know to ask the right questions because maybe they're going through their own thing. So are you talking to a professional? Are you talking to a spiritual leader or someone you could trust? Do you have a mentor? I'm posing these because I want whole rounded health. That's another thing. I'm pretty excited because the website is coming up very soon. It's actually, you can go there now, nutritionalwellnessguy.com. But I'm excited because they're redoing the whole page, a whole clean look. The vision and the conversation behind the scenes with the company has been very amazing. And I'm now doing a coaching page. So all the things that you hear me talk about on my content throughout the week that I drop, my podcast, now here on this show, I'm going to be able to help coach you. Sometimes you just need a coach to be on the outside looking in. And that's what I deal with. I'm not just going to give you supplements. You're not spending any of that. I'm not saying, hey, you got to buy this product and buy this product. Before we do anything, I first need to know, where are you at? Because the only way I can know where we're going to go is when I know where you're at. What does your emotions look like? How are you emoting? Are you mostly frustrated? Are you mostly tired? Are you mostly angry? Are you mostly happy, but like a euphoric, weird happy, like, because you're almost psychotically happy, you know what I mean? So this is the conversations we have as a behavior change counselor. That's one of the gifts. I thank God that I'm able to have a conversation with my clients, with the people who I service, and we do whole health. We do whole health. And that is something that I will be promoting a little bit more on these Wellness Wednesdays, because again, it's a very short list. I only coach a certain amount of people a month, and we got this January batch coming up. We're not doing December, but we have January batch coming up, and spots are filling up for phase 1. There's a 3-phase part to my coaching program. So phase 1 is 31 days, and then it's another 30, so about 91 days in total. And we talk about all of this. We talk about, whatever your issue is, we figure it out from the root. I'm a naturopath, so we're coming from a naturopathic, holistic standpoint, not the gimmicky stuff that you see online, because it's not going to stay there. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, when it comes to telehealth, I want you guys and gals to be more, I want you to be a little more picky. I want you to demand more when it comes to your health. I don't want you looking for the easy way out. And health shouldn't always be a secret. That's when we get in trouble, when we try to hide our symptoms because we're embarrassed, or we don't want people to know what we're dealing with. That's when things get tricky, because we try to self-medicate and we isolate and we try to fix it the cheapest and easiest and most quietest way. And that's not how it always goes. And actually, that's how we get in trouble. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it more. There was a survey done by JAMA found that 70% of patients using telehealth for quick prescriptions never met or interacted with a clinician beyond the questionnaire. And that's wild, meaning that you signed up for hims and hers in row. And after you finish your initial consultation or that little quick little thing you do with the clinician, that's it. There's no follow through. There's no blood work. How do you take a product and not do blood work after, and not do a stool sample after? Because you need to know what's being absorbed. Like, did you know that, guys? Like, if you look at some of my other episodes on Wellness Wednesday, more than half of the stuff on the shelves, the supplements, have a very low efficacy, meaning that the absorption rate is very low. A lot of that stuff doesn't go in your bloodstream. It's not because you're broken. It's just because the formula is broken. And they're supplements, so they didn't have to get pre-approved by the FDA. They did not have to get tested. They just don't. Any supplement in our country does not have to be tested by the FDA. And I keep telling you that over and over again. That's how companies make a lot of money, and companies in China and other countries, they exploit that. They send their product over here. It looks, it's all natural. It says all natural. And you see, trees and nature, and it has vitamin D supplement. Some of that stuff doesn't have efficacy. There's the bioavailability is weak, and you're taking it. You think you're doing the right thing. You're taking it, and nothing is changing, which sucks. So that's why I always say, when you're doing supplements, first and foremost, know what your blood work is. Just don't be taking things to take things. I know a little while ago, biotin was the thing. Argan oil and biotin, all of those were things. And you would look for products that had biotin in it, shampoos with biotin in it, and argan oil in it. Why? Because they have been known to help with hair growth. But guess what? If you don't have a biotin deficiency, more biotin doesn't help. It just doesn't help. It's actually a waste. So you need to know where your lab levels are. You need to know where your nutrient and your vitamin levels are. And you need to know where all your what's your creatinine looks like. Where's your bilirubin levels? You need to know what that looks like. That's not going to happen with a him or hers or row, because they're not that invested. They want you on a subscription, and they want to give you supplements. And some of their stuff is FDA, but more than likely, they're actually trying to sell you the proprietary blend, because that's where they make more money on. Just what it is. Sorry, y'all. Very true. Definitely can't cut corners. Yeah. And that's a very good one. So my recommendation, even when I tell clients, when you're looking for a supplement, go to the website. You need to know who's the founders. The smaller ones are usually the best. Know who the founders are. It's I wish I knew her name. She's out in Denver, Colorado. She makes magnesium butter. Alicia, I wish Alicia, I don't know if she's watching. Felicia, you may know what it may say on her thing, but she's a small time. Well, she's big time now, because even Tabitha, Tab Brown had her on her page. But it's a magnesium butter rub. You know who the owner is. You know who the founder is. You know where she's sourcing her stuff. The website is very clear on where the product is coming from. She has a shop. She has a place you can go to. When you're looking for supplements, whether it's for hair, weight, more energy, you want to know about the company. You should be able to go to the website. You should know who the founders are, or you should know who the CEO is, who the president, if there's a board of directors, you should know who all of them are. You should cross-reference that with LinkedIn. And then that's when you should start digging deeper to say, okay, let me look for real reviews, real examples. Because some of the before and after pictures, now you can reverse engineer. You can take a picture and you can use AI and say, hey, has this picture been used in other places on the internet? It will blow your mind. Some of these fake labels, we're about to get into that next. Some of these fake labels, white labels, how they will use the same before and after picture that's online, stock photo. So I want you guys to, man, they getting sneaky out there, but that's what I'm here for. And it is what it is. I want us to be more aware of when we're shopping and what we're spending our money on, because sometimes we don't have to spend the money. It's just a lifestyle tweak we need to do. And that's pretty much it for that segment. Any questions on that? Let's just get right into it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for our hymn. I think I was on their neck long enough. Hims and hers and rows. And again, just to be clear, I don't have beef with them. They didn't do me wrong. They don't owe me money. However, I'm starting to see the hype, and I'm starting to see they're putting a lot more money into hiring certain actors and influencers instead of putting that money into the research and the product and the science of it and convincing us of the science, not the marketing, the science. All right, that's enough for them. But I got some more beef. So I was on, I think it was Instagram yesterday. No, 2 days ago. That's how this came up. And it was a company called Glow Melanin. It's GLO. Let me see if I can put that in there. Because y'all gotta see this fake. When you see the fake, you'll know. Glow Melanin. I think I spelled that right, y'all. I saw them. Actually, I don't want that under my name because they're gonna be like, So I saw them on I think it was Instagram. And I don't know about y'all, but if it's like a certain time of the night, I don't know why I just like to buy stuff. Like I'm working on it. Like I'm getting delivered from it. Trust me, like God is delivering me. I'm delivered. But I saw this company and it was so convincing. They had black people and their skin looked so good. And they had a turmeric, it was like a turmeric blend scrub. It was like a face serum, and there was a soap. There was like a what's the acid soap? Is it kojic acid? One of those acids in the soap. And I was like, oh, this looks good. It was like some sale, like beaten Black Friday sale. And I was like, oh my gosh, this looks good. And I went on the website and I was like, okay, first and foremost, the website, not the website, it's the link from the Instagram link. That's not the website sometimes. It's just a landing page before you get to the website. But the landing page that usually connects straight through TikTok or Instagram, you'll know that because when you click on it, it's still in the Instagram browser. It doesn't go to a whole different browser where you see their webpage. Anywho, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this looks like all the writing and emojis look so AI. It looks like copy and paste AI. So I was like kind of rubbed up wrong. Like, okay, this doesn't look good. Then I'm looking at the black people a little closer and I'm like, y'all look like black people, but y'all look like AI black people. This don't look good. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a reverse engineer with this. I'm gonna put it on my little AI software and see if this is used somewhere. And it wasn't used anywhere, but it was confirmed that it was AI generated. And I was like, oh my God. So the more and more I started looking, I was like, all right, let me see who the founder are. So I went in AI, said, who's the founder of Glow Melanin? And there's no founder. Nobody found whatsoever. I had AI do a deep dive. They did a deep dive. And they still, it was a name came up. It was a lady's name came up. So then I went to that through LinkedIn and I did a deep dive with LinkedIn and the lady's name, and it was no person found. So it was just a mix up. Long story short, it should not be that hard to find the founder of a product that's promoting and saying that they're black owned. You should be able to see the owner, their mama, their grandmama, the dog. You should be able to see, because it's one thing about a founder or an owner who's proud of their product. They're not hiding. They're actually proud of their product. They're doing interviews. They're doing promotions. They're coming on live every once in a while because they're talking about their product. When all of that is gone, then you have red flags. And so then I was like, okay, let me get out of this. Let me go to the actual Instagram page. And all it is a bunch of stock photos, text to photo. It was just trash. And I was like, oh, you guys almost got me with the okie doke, because I thought I was going to get some soap for the skin and was going to be good for the winter time. And I almost got. And it kind of ticked me off. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to start every week. I'm just going to expose another company that's just on that BS. All we know, this could be some company somewhere in China, somewhere exploiting Black people. So I want us to get a little bit more intentional, and let's stop falling for the okie doke. If it says Black owned, woman owned, made in the USA, if it says anything like veteran owned, I want us now to don't be impulsive. Don't impulsive buy, especially, that certain time of the night where you just doom scrolling, you impulsive buy because it's $30 or it's $40 and it seems very affordable. But stop letting them profit off of your impulsiveness. And I'm speaking, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I want you guys to really start now. When you see a product you like, and I know my sister Alicia, she's like the main one who sends me stuff. And also, I got a couple of people who are always sending me stuff like, hey, is this a good product or not? And now I want you guys to start saying, okay, I can now know if this is a good product or not. First and foremost, I'm going to, if they're promoting Black owned this and women owned this and veteran owned this, I'm now going to look for the owner, because believe it or not, y'all, it's not illegal for them to do that. So any supplement company or any company in the USA can say they're Black owned, can say they're veteran owned, can say they're woman owned, minority owned. They can say that as long as they don't apply for government grants or any type of government funding for that, that title, which is wild. Like, that's so freaking wild. You're looking online and you see, hey, this is Black owned. Like, you feel like there's a little trust, like they kind of understand what your skin is like, or they kind of understand your hair care needs. Or you're looking at something like veteran owned. Okay, man, this person is probably going to be on the up and up. They're going to be like, have some integrity. And all along, it's a white label. Now, when I say white label, I'm not being racist, y'all, I promise. White label is an actual term. So a lot of companies, when you go to Vitamin Shop, when you go to GNC, when you go to Target or Walmart, we're not really doing Target like that still, right? Yeah, I haven't been there. I'm just checking to see if y'all been there or not yet. Target, Walmart, any of these other spots, 80% or more of the products on the shelf when it comes to protein, pre-workout, weight loss pills, weight loss supplements, energy pills, that stuff is considered white label. So there's just one company that makes the blend, and they license out that proprietary product to different companies. So hundreds of companies can buy the exact same product. It's the same formula, same bottle, same drop shipper. The only difference is the label. That is legal. That's a legal thing here in the USA. What other countries, China, and shout out to the people in China. I like you, China. But I'm just saying, a lot of the scrupulous practices sometimes come out of China, especially on the supplement side. That's what we've learned in school. So it's just a fact. No shade. But these are not third-party tested. They're third-party made. So you're looking at your favorite protein. You're looking at your favorite pre-workout. You're looking at your favorite weight loss fat burner pills. And it is one product that has that, again, it didn't have to get third-party tested. The FDA hasn't checked it out, and they're able to say that the ingredients in this product has been known to help with weight loss. They don't have to guarantee that their product is going to help you with weight loss, and they don't even have to have enough ingredients in there for weight loss. That is the almost cursed. That is the most stupidest thing I think that is allowed in our country, that you can allow all these supplements to promote something and they don't have to prove that that's what it does. So I want you guys to be on the lookout for your supplements going forward. I want you to take your AI out, whether it's ChatGPT, Copilot, Grok, whoever you use. I want you, and we say this every episode now. I think I'm gonna just keep saying it every episode. I want you to take a picture of the front, take a picture of the back, and tell it to do a deep dive. Find out who the owner is, when were they established, where is the distributing source, where are the products, what are the ingredients. AI can tell you all of that. And if it can't, that's a red flag. And then that's when you start stepping back and say, okay, this is another scam. Mind you, there's hundreds of products that's doing this. Hundreds of products. And they know it. The product will be around for 3-4 months and then it'll be gone. Same company. They'll change out the labeling and they'll do a DBA, which means doing business as. legally restructure the business and make another couple of $1 million selling you a pre-workout that gives you the jitters. Did you know there's like 2 amino acids, glycine and what's the other one I use? Oh my gosh, is it glycine and I find glycine and cysteine, I believe. These 2 amino acids give you the jitters. They're giving you the jitters. So when you see a product, that says, "Hey, this has no caffeine in it," but you take the pre-workout and you still feel the jitters, something in your mind is like, "Oh, this is working because I got the jitters now and I'm feeling warm and tingly inside," not knowing that there's actually ingredients that can mimic that effect. And if it's not a great proprietary blend, you're just wasting your money. You're adding more sugar, you're throwing off your hormonal balance, and now you just wasted money on more supplements. So I'm not going to stay on that much longer, y'all, but what the whole point of this segment is, when it comes to your supplements, whether it's for hair, skin, or diet, I want to now, unfortunately, since things have become more corrupt and more crooked, I want you to start deep diving, use AI if you have to, and find out, where is this product? Who makes this product? Who is the founder or the team behind this product? And is this product third-party tested? If someone really cares about their product, they're going to get it third-party tested because they want to separate themselves from all of the noise that's out there. One of my favorite brands that I use as of date, they're good. I don't know what drama they get into in the future. I don't work for them people. I like Kachava. I love Kachava, actually. I've been doing Kachava for 4 or 5 years. That is the protein supplement that I use for myself. Now, my diet is where it's at now, that I don't need protein supplements to get my macros in, but it's a good meal replacement. I love the flavor. It helps me get a lot of my other nutrients in. But Kachava, I'm not a sponsor for them, but I love Kachava. Kachava, I know their story, understand where they came from. They show where their ingredients are sourced, and it's just a great brand. I recommend that to clients. I recommend that to my family and friends. It's such a great brand. But why? Because I was able to breadcrumb and go backwards to see what the company's all about. If you can't do that with your company, I don't care if you even in CVS or Walgreens, and what's the company, Nature Bounty, or any of those things you see on the shelf, just because they made it into CVS or they made it into Target or they made it into Walmart or Vitamin Shop or they made it into GNC, does not mean they've been tested, does not mean they work, and does not mean that they have a high enough bioavailability for you to see a difference. Just facts. Don't shoot the messenger. There was a fact here. So the Nielsen report, I know you guys probably heard about the Nielsen report, showed that 44% of Black consumers intentionally seek out Black-owned brands when shopping for personal care items. I'm one of those. I don't know what it is. I'm one of those. Like, if I see that the product is Black-owned, something about it just resonates. It feels good. It's like, okay, they kind of get where I'm coming from, and I trust them. Now we have to now start seeing if this is a company that was in China who used stock photos from Canva. AI generated some happy Black people with beautiful Black and brown skin, and now they're trying to market to me and you that they are Black owned, and it's totally legal. It's just wild work. That the young people say, it's diabolical. It's wild work. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I want us to be a little bit more equipped when we're going into this season, especially this is the season of commerce. So we're spending and buying, and we're getting gifts for others. We're getting gifts for ourselves, and it gets tricky. You know why I think Rihanna's line? And again, I never did Fenty. I never did Fenty. But I know a lot of people who say Fenty works. Fenty is good. If it was good or bad, guess what? It would be a trusted product because you know who the founder is, the founder and the team of the founders and the product. You'll be able to go to the website and you'll be like, okay, this is a real person behind this product. And you can breadcrumb it. Beyonce's Sacred. I haven't used Sacred. But guess what? You got someone who's now putting their name behind it, and she's going a step further. They're putting third-party testing out there, and they're showing that, hey, This is a product that we're standing by. You can see where the owners are. You can see where the ingredients are sourced, and you can read the ingredient list. That's huge. That's huge. And I know I named some, I know I named two big people. One of my favorite skincare, I'm not going to gatekeep. I don't know. Mama, the last video, Mama Holmes said, she said, damn, boy, your skin looking good. And, when a mom compliments you, it goes a long way. But my favorite skincare product is Urban RX. Now, originally, they were Black owned and then they sold. But I was glad to see that they did not change up too many of their blends. And I like them because Urban RX, again, I don't get paid for this. You go on Urban RX and they give you a free esthetician, a free consult. So they'll go over your skin profile. It's a FaceTime or it's a video link, and they'll go over your face needs and they will help you put together the products that they sell that works for whatever your needs are. I've been using them 4 or 5 years, maybe. When I came back from Iraq, I think I've been using them ever since. And for me, I believe they're a trusted product. I understand the story. I knew who the founders were, but now they're very clear on who the owners are. They're clear on who's on the team. Their ingredients list you can go to the ingredient list. It doesn't say proprietary blend. It actually says what's in the product. And yeah, I love them. I love them a lot. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. How you guys can protect yourselves, just follow your gut. If you're looking at a product on TikTok and Instagram and it's promising you that you're going to lose weight, you're going to get longer hair, your skin's going to clear up by tomorrow, it's going to get rid of all the wrinkles, all the circles under your eyes are going to be gone. If it's doing all of that foolishness, just click away. Just click away. They're just trying to get your money. And the issue with that also is it's legal. It's very legal. When it comes to circles under your eyes and wrinkles and bad skin and hair loss issues, that's lifestyle. That's not a supplement issue. Sometimes most times it's a lifestyle issue where you may need supplements, but supplements alone won't do it. You will also need a lifestyle. That's why you got Future Doc in the building. What's up, Queen of Wellness? I don't know if you still go by that, but I still to hear her. I see Felix is in the building. Shane's in the building. Mama Holmes is in the building. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate it. And whoever's checking on the replay, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, this is the love language. All right, let me not get distracted. We cooking. So yeah, pretty much I want you guys to be on the lookout for these supplements. Again, a lot of them have low quality extracts, a lot of synthetic fillers they don't have to tell you about, a lot of fragrances that irritate your skin, especially melanated skin. And that's black and brown. Shout out to our Hispanic and Latin brothers and sisters. They have weak concentrations, and the inactive ingredients, they're not labeled, so you don't know what they are. It's all sus. It's all suspect. It just sucks. So stop falling for black people stuff, because just because it say black owned, don't fall for it no more. Make them prove it. All right, we almost run out of time. Segment 3, last topic, and then I'll share with you guys my weekly 5 tips that I want you guys to be on top of. I call these my health hacks or micro habits, whatever you want to call it. But these are near to me, just from conversations I have throughout the week. But before we get to that, segment 3, hidden sugar swap. So, like I said earlier, the food industry is now caught on that a lot of us are now being a lot more savvy by looking on the back of the label. They know it's legal for them. It's legal for them to lie on the front of the product. As long as they don't make a medical claim, they can lie on the front of the product because that is fair game for the most part. However, the back of the product is where they have to be more forthright or more truthful legally. So they've started to understand this, and that's why they are now rebranding what sugar is. So most likely you're not going to see high fructose corn syrup in anything. You're not going to see fructose in much stuff. You might now start seeing organic cane sugar. Listen, organic or no organic, it still has the same bio. It still has the same biology. It's still the same. It's still the same makeup. Organic or no organic, when it comes to sugar, it's still cane sugar processed. So don't get duped by that. I know that's the newest thing. Even Whole Food has it, organic cane sugar, and something about that sugar makes you feel good about it because you're like, oh my gosh, this is organic. This has to be good. Or turbinado raw. That's a term. It's just a technique. It's a term. It's not a special type of healthier sugar. It's just a technique. It's a crunchier sugar. It's darker because it wasn't bleached. But don't fall for the okie doke. So what they have been able to do is a lot of us now, when we look on the back of the label, when I talk to clients, I ask them, what are the things you're looking for? They're looking for calories. They're looking for fat. They're looking at the sugar part. And mostly men, I don't know, guys, we're so stuck on protein, which we talked about the last episode. That is the next big gimmick that they're doing. They're putting protein in everything because they know that if you see protein in something, you're going to say, oh, this has to be good for me. And you're going to say to yourself, like, oh, yeah, I got to get my protein in. So you can go to Starbucks and they'll create a protein latte. It's the same latte they've been making for the last 20 years. They'll put some protein in it. And all of a sudden, your psychology says, okay, now this is good for me because I'm getting my protein in. You're still going to get all that sugar. You're still going to get all those carbs. You're still going to get all that other garbage to go with your protein. It's like taking a pile of caca and putting protein in it, some doo-doo, and saying, okay, this has 30 grams of protein in it. You should be good. I get my protein in. That's how I look at it when I look at fast food and Starbucks and some of these other crazy places that add protein to garbage. It's just like, it doesn't matter. You don't get the protein if it has to come in that form because it's just not worth it. So the food industry now, when they list, I'm going to tell you guys what new sugar is. So everything I'm going to name to you pretty much falls right. They're pretty much similar, give or take, on the glycemic index, which means the absorption of the sugar into how your insulin spikes or doesn't spike. These are relatively the same as it just saying straight up sugar. So when you're looking on the back of the ingredients now and you see apple juice concentrate, pear concentrate, grape juice concentrate, date paste or date syrup, coconut sugar, agave nectar, maple syrup, fruit puree, brown rice syrup, honey, or like we already talked about, organic cane sugar, which organic doesn't change the biology of the sugar. It's still sugar. These are still considered added sugars because they still spike the insulin. However, legally, the companies don't have to put this under the added sugar part of the nutrition label. That's wild. That's so wild. There was a study done in the Journal of Nutrition that found fruit concentrates. Now, mind you, I just said apple concentrate, pear concentrate. You'll see mango concentrate, pineapple concentrate. These same fruit concentrates raise blood sugar nearly the same as table sugar. So just because it's a fruit-based sugar or sweetener does not mean now the product is healthier as far as the sugar content is concerned. And this is such a tricky loophole because they found a way not to have to put it under the added sugar part. So I want you guys to do your homework. Now, hear me on this, family. Hear me on this. Hear me on this. I'm not saying stay away from all these products. I have to make these disclaimers because after I finish these episodes, I get some really interesting text messages like, now I got to throw this away. I feel guilty eating that. And no, this is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't want you to trick yourself and think that your doctor told you, or you told you, or your nutritionist told you, or your coach told you, hey, I want you to limit your sugar intake. And you only thought that meant by looking on the back of the label and making sure you stay away products with added sugar. And just because it had fruit-based, meaning that it was healthy. I want you to know if it's sweet, it's sweet, and the body is still recognizing it as sweet. And I see stevia leaf extract and everything too. Is that okay? I have my thing about stevia, but out of all of the sweeteners, it is the most respected and the most cherished one. I know Shane does the stevia. Felicia, I know you don't do sugar at all like that anyway. But yeah, stevia is not on my poop list. It's just be sparing with it. It's still gonna spike because it's a sugar alcohol. But it's not on this list, okay? But I don't want you going crazy and doing everything with stevia, but it's not on the stand today. These other things are on the stand. So stevia, you have off. Maybe I can bring that up next week. Stevia, you have off this week. Coconut sugar is the lowest on the glycemic index. It is. It's very much the lowest. And I actually use it more than the other sugars. However, people who are sugar sensitive, coconut sugar still does create conflict, not with average healthy adults, but someone who's borderline pre-diabetic. We don't tell them about coconut sugar only because you end up using more coconut sugar than you would regular sugar, a not so healthy person, because their palate is already conditioned for sweet and salty. But a healthy average adult, you're right. You're right. Coconut sugar is one of the fair ones on there. However, the whole point of this segment is to let you guys know that when you see that in the ingredient list, it's not going to show up as added sugar, but I want you to see the grams. How much grams of that sugar is in the food product? Because believe it or not, sugar is still sugar. It's still gonna do some disruptions if you're not in a homeostasis, if you're not balanced. So let's say, and we're gonna get into this because one of the other things I wanted to cover today is travel. As you guys know, I just got here from LA, and I want to talk about the ways you can protect you and your family from getting sick when you travel. Let's say you were starting to feel a scratchy throat or your nose was getting a little stuffed up. One of the things we always tell clients is stay away from all types of sugar until you're feeling better. Only because when it comes to sweets and sugars, it feeds certain yeast and bacterias and certain viruses in the body. So when you can starve the body of those sweeteners, then you are able to help boost your immune system a little bit better. So again, I'm telling you guys this because when you look at the products and you see any of the things I mentioned, the apple juice concentrate, pear concentrate, any of the other stuff, what ends up happening is you think that, hey, I'm doing good. I want you to know you're actually doing better. You're doing better. These products, again, when you deal with an apple juice concentrate, when you're dealing with a fruit, another one is these companies that do the green juices or the fruit juices. The issue is you're missing the fiber. So fiber is the part that slows down the absorption of the sugar. So if you're dealing with any type of sweetness without fiber, you have a rapid absorption, and that's where your insulin, and that's when your pancreas, and that's when everything takes a hit, because it's just it just hits the stream so quickly. And absorption starts in the mouth. So the amylase, you have enzymes that break down your nutrients in your food in your mouth, and then in the stomach, and then in the intestines. And it takes some time to break it down. But when you straight sugar like that, it hits right away. And this is something I want you guys to be on the lookout for. Don't give up your products. I'd rather you have a product with any of these apple juice concentrates, date, coconut sugar. Alicia, you're right. Maple syrup, that's like my go-to for my sweeteners. Maple syrup is like my number one go-to for all type of sweeteners. But again, if you guys know, if you've been following me in my coaching style, it's all about movement, moderation, and mindset. So no matter what you take in anything, how do I say anything? Too much of anything is good for nothing. So no matter how good it is, too much of it is not good. It's all about moderation. And that's pretty much it. FDA allows companies to say no added sugar if they use fruit concentrates, because technically it's considered a fruit ingredient, not a sweetener. So just be on the lookout for that. The reality is the metabolism still takes a hit, especially once it hits your bloodstream. You're spiking your insulin, your cravings get increased. You're dealing with weight gain, stress the pancreas. You disrupt your gut. And sugar does disrupts the gut. I don't care what form of sugar it is, it will disrupt the gut. Now there are fructoses, and there's lactose, and natural toses. There's sucrose, there's dextrose. Those are like more double bonded. You have maltose. These are from different forms of nature or plant-based. Or like lactose is obviously from, milk or from the cow. Those things turn into sugar. And I'm gonna tell you guys this: oat milk. Be careful with oat milk. So oat milk in itself is not, I'm not saying it's the devil, but there's a process that they do with oat milk. Where I wrote it down because I did not want to leave it out. But I know from memory, so I'll just say what it is. So what oat milk is called the enzymatic, so like an enzyme process that breaks down the starch into a glucose. So when they're taking the oat milk, and these are more the popular brands, not the more wholesome, smaller brands that are really trusted. These are the big guys. They rush in the process. So there's it's called the enzymatic process that takes the starch from the actual oats, and that process is almost like it turns into a glucose. So it sweetens it without adding sugar. So that's how some of your oat milks are able to say zero sugar or zero or sugar free, because they're not adding any sugar, or they're not even adding any sweetener, but they're loaded with sugar. Because they're loaded with sugar because of this process. There was an independent test that was done saying some oat milks have more sugar per cup than Coca-Cola. And this is not hype. This is not rage baiting. That's the fact, because of the glucose and the starch in the oat milk. I'm not saying give up your oat milk. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is everything needs to be done in moderation, and don't trust these companies. Whatever they put on the label, it is seduce you. That is foreplay. The front of the label is foreplay. They are licking their lips. They're batting their eyes. They sprayed all their good smell goods on. It just wants you to hit. They just want you to grab it and take it home. But you got to turn it to the back of the label, because that's where the truth is at. You got to read that profile, because a lot of these products are marketing themselves as healthy, and they're not. And just because now a lot of garbage has organic on it and gluten-free and all this other kosher, but you got to go deeper. All right, I'm gonna leave that because I have a couple of more minutes, and I want to hit you guys with these health tips real quick. Where we at? All right, fellas. So tip number one. So track these. These are my top 5 for the week. Fellas, ladies, I probably do one for you all when it comes to your ladies up top, your breast. I got you. I don't know. Yeah, that's the proper way, the mature way to say your breast. But fellas, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say your boys. So this first tip is, fellas, I want you to start getting in the mindset of wearing loose fitted underwear and pants for better prostate and testicle health. So when you're in tight pants all day, when you're sitting all day, there's not much pelvic movement, and just your scrotum area, the heat being up by 1 or 2 degrees, it kills sperm. It kills sperm health. It kills vitality, and it actually lowers your libido because there's no circulation in there. So for me, for one, I don't like sleeping with clothes. And if I am going to sleep with clothes, there's no drawers. I need to wear pajama pants, or I need to wear something very loose because I need air. When you get home from work, fellas, throw on something comfortable. And ladies, or whoever, or partners of your fellas, whoever, if you loving a fella or if you are a fella, I want you to encourage each other. I want you to say, hey, take those tight ass pants off and put something on that's going to help them breathe, because it's going to affect, and as you may not notice it now, but as you get older, it's going to start affecting your T count, your testosterone, your T3 and T4. Well, one converts to the other, but it's going to affect sperm quality because it's too hot and it's too tight. Don't wear tight drawers. It needs to be loose. And this is also going to help with the prostate that sits around the bladder area, because again, you want to make sure you have proper temperature control down there, and it's good for hormonal balance and healthier tissues. Guys, I love doing statistics. Men who wear looser underwear have about 25% higher natural sperm count than those who don't. Even sitting for long periods raises heat levels in the groin, and tight pants make it worse. So your boys need to breathe. Tip number 2, the importance of fermented foods for the gut. So as we're getting ready for everybody coughing and not washing their God blessed hands, you have to protect yourself at all costs. Even those of you who have kids, your kids are bringing home germs. So I want you to really get serious about fermented foods. My favorite, I love Bubby's from Whole Foods. It's a sauerkraut. I think it's like 3 ingredients, cabbage, or 2 ingredients. I think it's just cabbage and salt. I want you to start getting some fermented food into your diet. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, kombucha, miso. Get that into to help break down food better, absorb nutrients, reduce the bloating, and help support hormone. I don't know if you noticed, but if you've been following me for some time, about 70% of your immune system is sitting in your gut wall. So we need to make sure we have fermented foods so we can have a higher diversity of microbiomes in the gut. Number 3, I used to always tell this to my clients. I feel like I even got away from this too. The power of green tea for belly fat and stubborn body fat. Now, green tea contains antioxidants that directly support fat metabolism. And this is just not the caffeine stuff. I don't do caffeine. So even my decaf tea, if it's done if it's decaffeinated the right way, still retains a lot of these antioxidants and nutrients. And this increases your caloric burn. It improves insulin sensitivity, and it helps the body switch into fat mode. 2 to 3 cups a day. I mean, you can have it iced, you can have it warm, but try and start getting more green tea into your diet. Stats are showing that green tea can increase your daily burn by 3 to 4%. It sounds small, but that adds up over time. 3 to 4% over a 7-day span. You're burning visceral fat and you're burning stubborn fat that you didn't do from crunches or your walk after your dinner. And also there's a compound called EGCG. This is the key driver for this fat loss and burning in green tea. And just so you know, ceremonial grain matcha also has it in a very high level. So all you pinky up matcha drinkers, you know, the bougie matcha drinkers, shout out to you. But matcha is really good for also helping with stubborn belly fat. But you got to understand this. If your matcha is loaded with oat milk and sugars and sweeteners and everything else, remember I said it's just like putting protein in poop and saying, hey, at least I'm getting my protein in for the day. It's just counter productive. And like I said, green tea is not a miracle. It's not a miracle drug. It's not going to burn all the fat. But I consider it like a part-timer. It's going to work part-time. And it's also, green tea helps support, reduces your stress. So it's going to help reduce cortisol, which in turn help reduce belly fat. All right, 2 more, y'all. I'm not gatekeeping. This has been something that's been in my family. We all do it. Some of my close friends, I think they own it. But my family, we do it, especially my sisters. Wild oregano oil. I get it from one place in Greece. I get the same oregano oil every single year. And wild oregano oil is rich in compounds that supports the body's natural defense. You need to find a trusted source of wild oregano that has the I always say it wrong. It's carvacol. It's let me see. I'll put it in here. Look for oregano that has this. I always say it wrong. I need to take like a speech class when it comes to these words. I just put it in the chat. So you're looking for a high dose of this because this is the strongest plant compound for immune resilience in the world. This is like up there with turmeric and ginger. And this has been historically used by Mediterranean culture for like thousands of years. And there's studies out there. A lot of studies are showing that the immune system is supported early on. So let's say before you get an all-out cold or before you straight up have COVID, if you start dosing oregano oil when you start feeling stuff coming on, there are studies that support that it does help reverse things and get you back on track. Like for me, I just got off the plane. The girl next to me, I don't understand what was her situation. All she had to do, I feel like, was just blow her nose, and both of our lives would have been better. But she sniffed the whole trip. I now know, okay, David, I need to get some oregano oil. And okay, you guys got me going right into the last one. Tip number 5, building up the immune system for holiday travel. So after you get off the plane, after you get from traveling off the bus or the train, wherever you're doing, you need to be constantly washing your hands. It doesn't matter if they're going to be dry and ashy. You rather them dry and ashy than ooey and gooey. So wash your hands as much as you can in the airport, whether it's in the airplane, wherever you can, wash your hands as much as possible. It's great to have the hand sanitizer, but nothing beats washing your hands. Also, I want you to prep before you get to the airport, before you start traveling. Some of you are going to be meeting up with family and friends, and you're going to be traveling to other people's homes, and you don't know how clean they are, and you don't know how nasty they are. You don't know how often they vacuum their floors or deodorize them. You don't know how often they wiping down touch surfaces. So you want to make sure that you are staying up on your vitamin C. You want to make sure, because that's all we heard growing up, but it's more to it. You want to make sure that you're on your zinc foods, foods that are rich in zinc and magnesium. Before you travel, especially the night before, you want to get sleep, good sleep. Poor sleep, a study shows that poor sleep lowers immune strength by nearly 50% the next day. So if you're traveling out the next day and you up all night packing and you're just trying to get things going and you're stressing, you didn't sleep well, your immune system is compromised by up to 50%, stats show. And then add that by stress. Stress reduces immune cell activity by up to 40%. So you're almost at 90. And I don't know if you know this, but the airplane humidity is often below like 20%. So this dries the nose and throat and reduces your natural defense barrier. So hear me, get your sleep. Make sure that you're staying on top of your nutrients. I want you to go crazy before you travel. So if you know you're about to travel, I want you to overhydrate. I want you to be on your zinc. I want you to be on your vitamin C. I want you to be on your vitamin D. I want you to prep before you travel so your immune system is ready for whatever it throws at it, because some stuff is coming your way. Trust me. And then on top of that, I want you to make sure that you're getting rest the night before. And yeah, like my mom say, wear your mask. If you want to wear your mask, I don't like wearing masks anymore. They're just, they're bothersome. But shout out to people who do wear your mask, because that's an extra barrier of support. But definitely wash your hands. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and another thing I would say, I started doing this because I never thought to do this before. Start wiping down your suitcase. So when you get home, get you some wipes or get you a antiseptic, or get you a not an antiseptic, that's more oral. Get you a wipe or some bacterial wipes or something. Clorox wipes, I'll just say it. I don't want get money, but wipe down your suitcase. Definitely get the wheels, get the outside of the suitcase. If you got the spray your backpack, spray your bags. You want to let those germs stay exactly where they came from. You do not want to bring that into your home. It's the same thing as like wearing shoes throughout your house. Same thing. If you're bringing your suitcase, you got other people, workers been touching the handles. They've been sharing space with other suitcases. Who knows what suitcase it touched? I now just started getting in the habit of wiping down my suitcases. That's pretty much it. I mean, we have some more to talk about. I know someone called me out like, hey, you said you was going to tell us about how to prepare a survival kit. You guys have my word. Next live, we're going to talk about survival kit a little bit more. And I'll probably post something throughout the week, just like a post. That's pretty much it. I mean, I went over time. I try to only keep y'all for an hour. I'm sorry, but I love you. I'm not really sorry because I have a good time. But thank you all for being here. If you're watching on the replay, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Put your comments and questions in as always. Shout out to everybody who joined today. I think this is like the most activity we had on the day. So I appreciate y'all. And don't forget to share this episode with someone who you love and care about. I think there's some gems that were in here. And thank you, the hoodie. We're working on the Healthy-ish launch. This should be coming out soon. That's part of the website too. If you go to www.healthyishway.com, you'll see some merch up there. But we got some good stuff coming up. Also, if you're looking for coaching, or you know someone in your life who's looking for coaching, we got a promo coming up. It's a phase 1, my phase 1 31-day blueprint for just whole health. A lot comes with it. It's going to be on the website. But if you know someone who can use the coaching, if you're looking for coaching, let me know, and I can get you on that wait list. You can let me know. D at let's see. I'm gonna give you guys this one. because while they're doing the website relaunch, I wonder if my email is even working. So you guys would just get the generic Gmail. Hopefully this shows up in the replay. But let me know if you're looking for someone who looking for coaching. We have a really good promo coming up for Black Friday, almost like cut in half. But I just want you all to win. Appreciate you. And remember, health is wealth, and I'm just here to make sure you're getting paid. Until next time, yum on. Love you guys. Have a good one, and see y'all next week. Episode